Will the minister now do the right thing and on behalf of Canadians recognize the generosity of Taiwan and thank its government for that timely donation?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as I said to you before, Canada is grateful to all who have given supply.
Canada is grateful to all nations. Canada is grateful to all who have given. But all haven't given. Everything starts to make sense about Justin Trudeau when you realize that what he wants to do is to get out of this job of Prime Minister, which is too much work, too much accountability, too boring, and too small, and get himself to the United Nations, perhaps as Secretary General in the future. So when you think, okay, why is he sucking up to the World Health Organization? Why is he being so obedient to China? Why is he giving so much foreign aid to every little dictator in the world? Why did he leave Canada in February on a 9-day junket to Africa and other places when the virus toll was starting to go zoom? Why did he leave on this 9-day junket? Why is he still employing Theresa Tam, who literally works for the UN right now? Why? Doesn't make sense. Why, and we'll show a clip in a second, actually show the clip right now. Why does Trudeau's foreign minister, Mr. Champagne, refuse to even say the word Taiwan when prompted twice? The answer is because Trudeau wants China's support to get Canada a UN Security Council temporary seat, and then to put Trudeau in his destination of choice, in the UN, where he has unlimited expense accounts, no real scrutiny, lots of junket travel, no democratic accountability, and he can be a global citizen. Here, let me show you the latest, which is Canada's foreign minister just will not say the word Taiwan. Won't even say the word.
This question is directed to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. On March 28th, he personally tweeted out a thank you to the People's Republic of China for donating PPEs to Canada. This tweet happened within 3 hours of China announcing that gift. Now, as it turned out, many of these PPEs were defective and could not be used. More recently, Taiwan donated 500,000 surgical masks to Canada. And yet here we are, 2 weeks later, and the minister has yet to personally thank Taiwan for its generosity. Will the minister now thank this free and democratic country for its generous gift to Canadians?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank my colleague for the question. Indeed, we are very grateful to every nation for helping Canada. This is a global pandemic which knows no border. We have been expressing our thanks to many nations who have contributed. We will continue to do so. It is important at a time of pandemic, Mr. Speaker, that we don't play politics, that humanity comes together. I can say to my COVID foreign minister's call, the world community has come together to make sure that we would make sure that supply chain would remain intact, that we would have transit hub, that we would have air bridges, and we will continue, Mr. Speaker, to work with every nation when it comes to health. This is a public good that we want to work together with.
We'll go back to Mr. Fast now.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I didn't hear a thank you there, so I'm going to try again. On May 4th, the government of Taiwan delivered 25,000 surgical masks to the government of British Columbia. On hand were BC's Minister of Citizen Services, Ann Kang, and Minister of State for Childcare, Katrina Chen, who, as ministers, officially thanked the government of Taiwan for its donation. Again, will the minister now do the right thing and, on behalf of Canadians, recognize the generosity of Taiwan and thank its government for that timely donation?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as I said to you before, Canada is grateful to all who have given supply.
Canada is grateful to all nations. Canada is grateful to all who have given. But all haven't given. In fact, give me a headline showing Chinese gifts are substandard and have to be returned. China has sent, as in the communist China, the People's Republic of China, has sent gifts that are in fact Trojan horses, that like N95 masks that don't actually work. They're probably counterfeit or just substandard. Yeah, coronavirus, counterfeit Chinese-made face masks pulled offline after Global News probe. Like they're counterfeits, they're just like they have knockoff Gucci's or whatever. Yeah, counterfeit respirators. They have 3M labels on it, just like you have a Gucci or a, Fendi or whatever your fancy brands are. It's counterfeit. That's what China does. If you've ever been there, it's hilarious, some of the brands, and sometimes they have spelling errors or whatever. It's just one big counterfeit economy. So China has sent us junk. They've sent personal protective gear that doesn't work. They've sent tests that don't work. Taiwan, by contrast, is really the only country whose face masks I would trust. In fact, they say made in Taiwan in them. And they sent those to Canada, and our foreign minister twice would not even say the word Taiwan. It's like in Harry Potter, the one who can't be named, Voldemort or whatever. Why would you be that weird? Why would you be so ungrateful? Why would you be so clearly, like, have some weird soft spot there? It's like Bruce Aylward. Can we get the Hong Kong Bruce Aylward clip? There's another Canadian who actually works directly for the United Nations World Health Organization, Bruce Aylward. He's a disgraced doctor from Newfoundland, disgraced in that he puts his political obedience to China ahead of his true public health judgment, in my view. And I say that because when he was simply asked about Taiwan, which has had exemplary precautions against the coronavirus, I think they've had a grand total of 8 deaths in the whole country of 23 million people. That's right across the Strait of Formosa from China. 800,000 Taiwanese live in China. How can you be so integrated with China? Countless daily flights, people living on both sides of the strait. How can you only have 8 deaths? My God, there's so much we can learn from them. No, watch this. This is a Canadian disgrace. Bruce Aylward, look.
Consider Taiwan's membership. Hello?
Sorry, I can't hear you. I couldn't hear your question.
Okay, yeah. Let me repeat the question.
No, that's okay. Let's move to another one then.
When Aylward was asked about Taiwan, he stalled for close to 10.
So that was a version that played on a different channel there, but you can see he heard the question. He said, "Move on." She hung up on him. He hung up on her once. She called back. It's just a very weird, freaky evader, and he literally was putting his love for Communist China ahead of his care for patients. Of course, that's what public health doctors are about. The difference between a real medical doctor that you go to as a patient and a public health doctor is that the real doctor actually tries to make you better, cares about you. A public health doctor is really a politician with an MD, cares about politics, and at best thinks of people as little pawns on a chessboard, not as an individual to be cared for. My esteem for public health officers has plunged in this pandemic.